They have made a new deal with Gemini. Could this be the first time Ripple's banking license is used? We are going to talk about this deal and what it means for XRP and Ripple. We will also talk about what we think this deal could turn into with other businesses in the future. That's what I want to see today. To begin, we need to know that Gemini is going public. This may have something to do with everything else. Let's get it first. Things are not going well for Gemini. Following that, I have a lot more to show you before we talk about Ripple and XRP. It looks like yen stable coins will be added to the XRP process. What does that mean? Since August is almost over, we will also talk about the most important thing that will move XRP in September. Let's go. Gemini Space Station filed for its initial public offering or IPO. This is just one of many companies that deal in digital assets that want to go public. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, who are twin billionaires, started in 2014 and wants to go public on Jimmy, is the sign for the NASDAQ. The terms of the sale were not made public in a document that came out on Friday. Over 60 countries can use the service, and more than 70 coins can be used. It works with stable coins and turns the Gemini dollar into a stable currency. It cost Gemini about $20 or $80 million to run its business over the 6 months ending June 30th. It made about $69 million in sales. This is more than the $41 million net loss on sales of $74 million the year before. Okay, we don't need their back and forth or whatever they're thinking. It was just to show you Gemini, what's going on. You came to find out what's going with Jimmy and Ripple, right? Let's do that then. This paper came out yesterday, so here it is. I was going to take the day off yesterday, but when I saw this, I thought, oh my God, I have to get T up early and record this so that we can get it to you today, Monday. That's what we'll do. It says that this is the first time Ripple has really helped companies that use RLUSD with their banking. So this does have some information on it. It says that in July 2025, we made a loan deal with Ripple Labs, Inc., which is a separate company from us. The Ripple Credit Agreement is the name of this deal. We can ask for loans of at least $5 million each, an initial promise of up to $75 million under the Ripple Credit Agreement. As long as certain agreed upon conditions are met, this amount can go up or down at any time, but can never go over $150 million. You should know that this has a lot of words. We should just mix this up to get a better idea of what's going on and maybe see what I'm missing in all the contract talk right now. I now have what I was looking for. It's still early. We're almost there. The Winklevoss Twins Gemini Space Station has put in for an initial public offering on NASDAQ with the code Gemini. Gemini wants to be a link between the crypto market and regular money. The S-1 register statement was made public on August 15, which showed that they plan to go public. The cryptocurrency market is unstable, but it is still growing thanks to its institutional-based security services and impact on the world, everything. It was said that the market lost a lot of money in the first half. That was something we talked about. Ripple Labs and Gemini have signed a formal credit agreement, which can be seen in Gemini's S-File. Okay, so Gemini put this information in their IPO when they filed it. This is what we're going to go over now. Just to quickly review. Where did this deal come from? Did it look like it came out of the dark? Is this part of their S1 form? That's one of their S1 file. We're slowly getting ready today, but we'll get there. We're getting there. Isn't it Monday? We can do this. Gemini can get a credit line from Ripple to help it get ready for its IPO and deal with its cash flow. Gemini can borrow $5 million at a time. And the maximum amount they can borrow at first is $75 million. This cap can go at $150 million if they meet certain success criteria and get Ripple's approval. People who borrow money through this deal must pay it back in USD, and interest rates to be as high as 5 to 8% per year. To put it another way, their rates are about the same as those at the bank. These days, it's a pain to go to the bank to get something. Do I have it right? It takes time. There's paperwork, and they say, we might be able to get this approved for you. After that, they show you proof. It's also pretty tired. It will be fun to check out what blockchain businesses can do to speed up the stock, loan, and other processes. The deal is interesting because it is paid for with the Ripple stablecoin RLSD. Gemini could borrow straight in RLSD if the facility is made even bigger. It is possible to borrow dollars. Ripple Labs made RLUSD a safe coin backed by the US dollar so that it would be legal and useful for business. What's the big deal? As a bank, this is a big step forward for Ripple. One of the biggest brands can now get straight credit lines from Ripple, trades for cryptocurrencies. In the past, this service was only offered from banks that were regulated. People have said that Ripple sees itself as a last resort provider like the IMF. Tomorrow things might be different. Ripple has been buying XRP back from people who sell it on the market, not just when someone wants cash right away. Do you understand? That way they can lend money with XRP and now RUSD and be the last and best source. And I think Ripple will become a very important bank as it grows. The value of the price goes through the roof when the price of XRP goes up, right? Then a bank like Chase that is part of the global banking system. The gap is way too big to fail. Should something bad happen tomorrow, the US government would help Chase get back on its feet. That's how important Chase is to the way money works. I believe we need to rethink what XI is in this new setup. There are a lot of leftover lines in the old system that make it possible to send money all over the world. With the new Trex, you should be able to do that. The system used to be held together by these big banks, but now you don't have to. These days, you can get infrastructure for a lot less money at Pip or Firkle. The money can be sent right away. You start to wonder where in the world the thing we're going to study that we wrote on the board is going to be. It is true that Ripple is trying hard to become a U.S. national bank. You should know that the steady quit integration RLUSD is meant to be used for sending money to other countries. institutional liquidity and the change in banks. Because of this, the wave is seen as a mistake by the bank, since crypto infrastructure firms offer payment and credit services that are not managed by regular banks. The help of Ripple and Gemini, blockchain-based banking that is controlled, is on the way. Hey, that's really cool, but I'm looking forward to seeing how things go. Ripple, do you remember this from a few months ago? Are you interested in an IPO right now? Ask Brad Garlinghouse. What are your thoughts? Also, Ripple has made it clear that they don't want to go public to raise money. Things work like that most of the time. The IPO helps the company get the money they need. The Ripple has money in it. They want to buy more businesses. Also, we're very grateful to have been able to grow the business by ourselves. To be honest, we are also looking for deals with more vigor. As the world's largest industry, the United States, the company will finally be able to get bigger. Still, I don't think the business world is paying enough attention to the shift from headwinds to tailwinds. That's not seen as important by many. Last but not least, anyone can use the US market. Now that you know this, it sounds like rather make deals than have an IPO right now. What do you want to buy next, and how big are you willing to go? I'm not going to name names, but Ripple is mainly a blockchain technology business. As a company that builds blockchain infrastructure, we'll check out the other ways our tools can be used by businesses, mostly banks. Things have been going really well. After that, Ripple paid $200 million for Hidden Road and Rail. For more specifics, Ripple wants to join. Do you think the Fed is really ready? A lot of people wonder if the Federal Reserve will really accept cryptocurrency. Is it true that banks will take crypto? There's also Jerome Powell, who runs the Federal Reserve and is the most important person in the US. I understand that there are people who dislike him and people who like what he's doing. The US is ready, he says. Pay attention. We need to keep an eye on banks when it comes to Bitcoin and other coins. We think banks can work with crypto users as long as the banks are aware of and can handle the risks. It's all right. A lot of the banks we watch over and control do that. This is the number that has been a little off. We look at what he says at a lot of banks, says, that's what a lot of the banks we watch and control do. They are dipping their toes in the crypto space to figure out how they can offer this to their users and give them what they want. A lot of the banks they know and work with already do that. I know that the bar for banks that do crypto business is high.